Welcome back to Soul Growth Stories. Today we explore the illusion of buying discipline through expensive gadgets and shiny new technology. Andy just spent an entire month's salary to purchase control. He believes this sleek device is the answer to his chaos. He is not buying a watch to tell the time, but buying a desperate hope that he will become someone else. With a satisfying click, he feels a surge of confidence. Surely, when this machine vibrates, his life will align perfectly today. The screen glows with colorful rings and promises of health. It is a beacon of order in his messy, disorganized world. Data begins to flow. He is ready to surrender his free will to the algorithms, believing they know better than him. His room is still a disaster, but his wrist looks organized. He convinces himself that the rest of his life follows. The device stays awake while he sleeps, monitoring his heart rate, his movements, and calculating the quality of his rest, silently. He wakes up and seeks validation from the screen. Did he sleep well? Only the machine can tell him the truth. The score is high, so he feels happy. He ignores his tired body, because the data says he should feel great. Days turn into nights. The initial excitement fades, replaced by the reality of old habits that are hard to break away. The watch gently reminds him of his goals. It is a logical command, but Andy is in the middle of entertainment. He dismisses the reminder. He chooses pleasure over discipline, but now the pleasure is tainted by a nagging sense of failure. Social gatherings become another battlefield. He is surrounded by laughter and sugar, but his wrist is ready to judge him. The buzz is demanding. It tells him he has been lazy. He feels the urge to obey the machine immediately. He stands up, not because he wants to, but to feed the algorithm. He paces aimlessly to satisfy the activity sensor. He watches the seconds tick by. 1 minute of movement is all it takes to clear his conscience and the notification. Duty done. He sits back down and rewards his 60 seconds of walking with 1,000 calories of sweet, creamy cake. The irony is lost on him. He is cheating the system, thinking he is winning because the watch gave him a badge. Work becomes a feedback loop of anxiety. He checks his stress levels obsessively, hoping to see a low, calm number. The number is high. Seeing it makes him panic, which raises his heart rate, which in turn makes the number higher. He is trapped in a vicious cycle. The device meant to help him manage stress is now the primary source of it. He walks through nature blind to its beauty. The trees and birds are invisible. Only the digital pulse matters to him. Human connection is replaced by metric comparison. He validates his existence through step counts rather than meaningful conversations with his friends. It is almost midnight. He marches like a soldier in his bedroom, chasing an arbitrary number while his body begs for sleep. Digital fireworks celebrate his victory. He collapses, exhausted but technically successful according to the cold logic of the smart machine. The week ends. It is time for the audit. Andy sits down to review the comprehensive report of his life's performance. He expects progress, but the screen bleeds red. The data is brutal and honest. Every metric is below the average line. Poor sleep, high stress, sedentary lifestyle. The machine has recorded every failure he tried to ignore or cheat his way through. He realizes the tricks did not work. Walking for a minute does not cancel out hours of sitting and eating junk. Rage builds up inside him. He feels betrayed, but deep down he knows the betrayal comes from his own lack of will. He rips the device off. The strap has left a mark on his skin, a physical symbol of his dependency on it. He casts it aside. The expensive plastic lands on the table, suddenly looking like just a piece of dead, cold metal. He steps away from the data. Standing on the balcony, he breathes real air, not measuring the volume of his lungs. The machine can count every heartbeat, but it cannot make his heart beat with passion if he is asleep at the wheel. He was letting a gadget drive his life. It is time to take back the steering wheel and drive his own destiny. He looks at the silent watch. It is a tool, not a master. He decides to leave it behind for now. The next morning begins differently. He ties his shoes with purpose.
His wrist is bare, but his mind is fully engaged. He runs without a tracker. He does not know his pace or distance. He only knows how his body truly feels. He feels his heart pounding. It is a raw, physical sensation, not a digital notification. He is connecting with his biology.
He chooses healthy food because he wants to fuel his body, not because an app told him he has calories left. Discipline returns quietly. It comes from his own choices, not from the fear of a vibrating alarm on his wrist. He goes to bed when tired. He listens to his internal clock, which is far more ancient and wise than technology. He wakes up rested. No score is needed to tell him he is ready for the day. He feels it inside. He puts the watch back on. But now, the dynamic has shifted. He uses it to track, not to be ruled. A notification comes in. He sees it, acknowledges it, and decides to ignore it until he is ready. He has control. He enjoys the company of others. The steps are being counted in the background, but they are no longer the priority. The difference is not in the device, but in the mindset. True management of life happens in the mind, not on screen. He has learned that you cannot outsource your discipline. You must build it yourself, brick by brick, day by day. Life is messy and beautiful. No algorithm can capture its fullness. Only you can experience it by being fully present. He silences the noise. He reclaims his attention. The watch is now just a silent observer while he lives his life. Do not become a smart person only when attached to a machine. Be smart enough to know when to disconnect completely. Real growth happens when you face yourself without filters. When you are honest about your habits without needing a report. From a slave of notifications to the master of his time, Andy found that the best operating system is his own will. In the silence of his mind, he finds the discipline he tried to buy. It was there all along, waiting. He opens his eyes. He is awake. Not because an alarm told him to wake up, but because he is alive. Take control of your life. Use tools to support you, but never let them define your worth or your schedule. Technology is amazing, but the human spirit is infinite. Don't trade your infinite potential for a limited set of data. Be the driver of your journey. Stay awake at the wheel. And remember, the most important updates happen inside you. Thank you for watching Soul Growth Stories. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more journeys of self-discovery.